welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna ask a question. Is the Ninja 650 the perfect bike? I think it is in almost every way. So we're gonna talk about that. Let's get going. It's early morning, so let's go for it. By the way, keep in mind throughout this whole video, that is my car. That is what I drive as a daily. That's a Model S 100D, and it's a beast of a machine. So yeah, keep that in mind and throughout this video, because it's gonna make a difference. All right, everybody, so let's get right into this. Let's talk about this a little bit. And oh my goodness. Okay, first things first, I have not been on this bike in like over a month. I've been sick. So the question, is the Ninja 650 the perfect bike? I say yes. And for those of you guys who are watching this video, more than likely you're interested in a Ninja 650. And I'm going to tell you guys information. I'm going to go into it a little bit. I'm going to tell you my experience with this bike and everything that I loved about this bike from the day I decided to buy it. Now, as some of you guys may or may not know, I've been contemplating whether or not I should sell this bike. And oh my goodness. And the reason that I've been contemplating it is because, as I just showed you earlier, I drive a Tesla Model S, and I love electric vehicles. I really do. The pure torque, the power, the fun, the acceleration is insane. And more than anything else, I think it's just the simplicity of it, the quietness. As you guys can tell, maybe, I don't know, but this bike is anything but quiet. So what does this mean? Well, this means that I've always looked at bikes as I guess, what is the best way to put this? I've looked at bikes as something that you can just take out, relax, chill out with, and have fun. And that is the part that I really enjoy it. For me, it is leisure vehicle. That's the term I'm looking for here. All right, so I really have looked at motorcycles always as leisure vehicles. Now, I do understand there are a lot of you out there who are in fact using your motorcycles for everyday commutes back and forth to work through all different types of weather. And that's, that's out of necessity. I can understand it. That's out of the love for the motorcycle, the ride. I can understand that. Depending on your area that you live in, I can truly understand it, because heck, you know what? It's just a motorcycle. It's a lot of fun no matter what you do. So let me get into some of the key reasons why I say the Ninja 650 is an absolutely perfect bike in almost every way, in my opinion. Now, I have decided, I'm sure to many of you guys have made a comment on this, but I have decided to keep my bike. I did make a video a while back asking if I, saying that I don't know if I'm gonna keep the bike or sell the bike. I have officially made a decision. I am not selling my Ninja 650. I absolutely love this bike. I just cannot part with it. There's too many things that I love about this bike. So let's get into some of the biggest reasons why I'm not gonna sell it. And this is not a video of why I love the bike per se, but the key reasons why I want to keep this bike and what makes this bike so special to me. The Ninja 650 is a sport touring bike, and because it's a sport touring bike, it is very, very easy to ride. It really isn't difficult. Now, compared to, let's say, a Ninja 300, it's very, very similar to that. And then, of course, compared to, let's say, Kawasaki ZX6R, well, it's underwhelming compared to that to a degree. But your stance is better, your positioning is better. You can ride this bike for a lot longer than you can a ZX6R as far as your comfort goes. This bike is just comfortable, but it doesn't necessarily lack, the fun that you have on a, let's say, ZX6R. So the bike being on a stand-up position, on a more upright position, on a more upright position, it does, oh my goodness, it does offer you so much to mess around with. And at the same time, you can just chill out and relax. You don't have your back problems on this bike. I do have a back problem. I have quite a bad back, and So for me, it does count. Having that upright position, it does count. So for me, again, that is a huge part of this. The bike, first of all, is very easy to take anywhere. Now, I've taken this bike in a lot of different places, and both on regular streets, back lanes, highways. Heck, I even took it partially off-road, which is not recommended, but it did do the job. It's not like it couldn't do it. It's not very low to the ground, so it does have the capability to just kind of go through some pretty bad areas. So if you're going through a nice little construction zone with nothing but potholes, yeah, this is going to be able to handle that, no problem. And again, the advantage of this bike is that it is a sport touring bike. It's just simple. It's nothing complicated about this bike. Now, for me, the part that really is, I hear a lot of people talking about is it's not fast. Wow, okay. The Ninja 650 is definitely torquier than it is speedier. So, I'm not going to win any crazy races with the Ninja 650 compared to, let's say, a 1000 RR. Or even something like the FZ07. I think the FZ07 would be the 650 as well. But speed is a questionable thing. Now, as I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, I do drive a Model S 100D. Basically, it's fast as, well, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to get demonetized, but it is ludicrous. It's crazy. All right. So speed is one of those things that you don't necessarily need as much as you want. And then comes the problem, the other side of the speed that most people don't think about. Speed is kind of relevant. So how do you define speed for yourself? Because everybody defines speed a little bit differently for themselves. In my case, I need enough speed to take me from point A to point B without really, messing myself up on the roads. I want to be able to still ride tomorrow. At the same time, I really don't need any speeding tickets. There's really no use for it. Now, does that mean I'm not going to go out of my way to have a little fun with this bike? No, of course it doesn't mean that. But what it does mean is that this motorcycle has plenty of power. It really does. And oh my goodness. So it has plenty of power to do what you want it to do. It's way more than what you need. And if you need more power than what the 650 gives, I'm hoping that you're out on a racetrack and that's where you're using it. In the city, especially on a highway, this bike has plenty, a heck of a lot more than you'll ever need. So speed for your highways, your freeways, your regular streets, that's not an issue, not even close. I can understand the Ninja 300 being a problem, but not this bike. This bike has plenty, and then it has a heck of a lot more to spare. Now, to put that into perspective, about 2 years ago, I went on a group ride for a big meetup, and I was keeping up with everybody. I didn't feel like anybody was losing me. I didn't feel like I had a lack of power. So when we're talking about power, this motorcycle has plenty. You really don't need more than this. And if you need more than this, I'm really hoping that you're smart enough to be using it strictly on a track. Now, in all fairness, on a track, a Ninja 300, I don't go on tracks, but everybody that I talk to, they tell me that Ninja 300 is absolutely awesome on a track, so there you go. But I don't do it. And so for my everyday needs or my leisure vehicle needs, this bike is more than enough. I don't need more, I don't need less, it's just perfect. Now we're going to come up to the next thing, and that is suspension, vibrations, and so forth and so on. Now on this bike, the funny thing is a lot of people talk about the vibrations. I made way too many videos about vibrations on a Ninja 650. It's not really there. At least, look, maybe I got one of those bikes. On mine, it's not really there. Hey, look at that. Another motorcycle. That's a Ninja 300. Alright, so yeah, in my case, the vibration isn't really there. But whatever is there is just perfect because, well, it gives me enough feedback that I really understand what's happening with my bike. So, when it comes to this bike, the handling of it is actually quite amazing. I'm very surprised at the handling of this bike. It's very nimble, and I love doing this especially. as you guys can tell, not an issue. So you can really mess around with this bike. You can have a ton of fun with this bike. And so if you can have fun with it, and you can go on long roads with it, you can go on long trips with it, you can go and frankly the fuel, it's pretty darn good on fuel too. I don't know the exact miles per gallon, but you know, at the end of the day, that's irrelevant. For me, it's a leisure vehicle, so I could care less. Alright, so if you have all the elements of the bike that you could need, a proper upright position, good for long rides, you're not gonna get, you know, completely wasted doing a 2-hour ride or 5-hour ride. That's a good thing. Being that the bike is nimble, such as this turn right here, so being that the bike is nimble, you can put her into corners very nicely. Her angle is incredible, how well this bike can just lean herself over. It's beautiful. So you have that going for you. The fact that the ride clearance is pretty nice. It's not an overly tall, it doesn't feel like a tall bike, but it feels a lot taller when you're on it because you are in a more upright position compared to, let's say, your typical race bike, which is you're down here. So this is, again, much more comfortable. I don't know what more you would want in a motorcycle. It does everything you want it to do and then some. And you can go out exploring at low speeds, you can go out exploring at high speeds. So one of the things I'm not a big fan of when it comes to the higher CC bikes is those higher CC bikes really hate low speeds. At least in my experience, and I gotta point that out, this is strictly in my experience. And with this bike, you know, I don't mind going through a lot of areas. There's really, she can handle this really well, the nice little slow speed maneuvers. So again, you can go and just chill out, relax, slow speeds, or you can just punch it and go a little bit. Have your fun. And if you want those little, you know, you are a little bit of a speed demon and you need to get that adrenaline going, pick a road, nice empty, give it a blip and go, right? Just, you know, and that's enough. You don't need to go too much more than that. Some of us though, some of my friends at least, some of you guys out there, you guys like to go fast. Keep in mind that going fast comes with a price, and 90% of the time the price it comes with is not necessarily the price you want to pay. All right, so that's my thing. Ultimately, the Ninja 650 is an all-around amazing motorcycle. It can do everything you need and then some. I will never argue with people in saying that this is the fastest bike out there. It's not. It's a Ninja 650. It's a sport touring bike. But all the other things it offers just makes this a perfect bike. I had the pleasure of riding quite a few bikes, and every one that I rode I've loved. You know, each one has their own personality. But yet, even though I am absolutely a huge fan of electric vehicles, be it a motorcycle or be it a car, I cannot bring myself to selling, hello there, I cannot bring myself to selling this bike. This bike is just one of those bikes that I am fascinated with. I love it. It works. It does the job. Maintenance has been literally minimal. In fact, it's been very tiny. The shifting on this bike too, also I'd like to point out, it's very smooth because it has the slipper clutch. It really makes everything so brainless. You know, you don't have to think too much about it. You still have to do the shifting, but you don't have to think too much. And you can do clutchless shifting. In fact, I do it quite often without even realizing it. But you know, so it's not something that you cannot do. There's nothing that this bike holds you back from doing. I love that about this bike. I enjoy that about this bike. And again, it doesn't matter if you're going fast, slow, it's just a comfortable bike. And not many people can say that when it comes to their bikes. I know guys that have some amazingly beautiful bikes, and they'll tell me, you know, the bike is awesome, it's fun to ride it, but in spurts, you know, like they'll go ride it for an hour and then they're like, I'm done. You know, I need a break. Whereas this bike, oh my goodness, I love this bike. All right, I hope for a lot of the lot of the people that really wanted to know what's gonna happen. I know the video that I put out a while ago asking, you know, saying that I'm thinking about selling the 650. I got a lot of comments on that, so I know you guys have been waiting on an answer. What am I gonna do? What's my final decision? So there you go. For those of you guys, the answer is absolutely not. I am gonna be keeping this bike, and I love it. I love it enough that I just can't get rid of it, and that's the big thing for it. The bike has literally proven itself time and time again. It has given me everything I've wanted, and it still has more to give. If you're gonna invest into a motorcycle, guys, there is, in my opinion, this is one of the best ones to do it in. It just works. I absolutely love it. With that said, I should point out that, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, my daily driver is a powerful vehicle. So I do love speed. I do love all those things. It's also a very luxurious vehicle, so I guess it depends on how you look at it. But at the same time, I do use my bikes as a leisure vehicle. I don't use it as a everyday you know, go to work vehicle and that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean I don't run some errands on the bike, but you know, for me, literally, it is a leisure vehicle. I just enjoy riding the motorcycle. All right, I'm done with this video. That's all I gotta say. I hope you guys took away something from this, and if you are planning on buying this a Ninja 650, or you're thinking about it, you know what, I honestly cannot tell you guys anything bad about this bike. I've tried to think about it, and because I've been thinking about selling it and buying another motorcycle, I really weighed out the positives and negatives, and I'll tell you, I'm about 95% positives and 5% negatives. In case you are wondering, I guess the only negative of this motorcycle is if you are gonna buy it and you are gonna want to change your exhaust, you will have no choice but to go with the full exhaust. All right, that's pretty much it. So you are gonna spend some money on buying a full exhaust. As far as negatives go, that's all I got for you. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel. Look around on the channel. I have like over 500 videos on this channel. My wife is also on this channel, so you guys might enjoy some of our craziness, having fun. We do a vlog sometimes. It used to be a regular thing, not as much anymore, although we have to start doing it again. So yeah, absolutely consider subscribing to the channel. Leave me your comments, ask me your questions. I always answer questions, at least to the best of my ability. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Do me a favor, everybody, ride safe. I know the off season is coming. This channel is going to change a little bit, and there are some surprises coming up very shortly. It's already started filming, and we have a few things in the works for you guys. So that's it. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.